What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing a Manchester City transfer update. Remember, I'm going to be doing daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout all of the summer transfer window from June for you to look forward to. So if you want to stay up to date every single day on YouTube with all the latest Manchester City transfer news, then do subscribe to my channel. It is free. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. I'm actively looking for a sponsor for them daily Manchester City transfer updates. So if that is something that does interest you, do let me know through my email. Do leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. And most importantly, do let me know your thoughts in the comments below, as I'm always interested in what you do have to say with regards to these transfers. So without further ado, let's crack on with this video. Let's start with the outs, and we've got an update on Kyle Walker. Now, the Daily Star have been reporting that despite interest coming in from Aston Villa of the Premier League and AC Milan of Italy in Serie A, Kyle Walker is keen to stay at Manchester City and see out his final year of his contract. Kyle Walker's contract at Manchester City is up in June of 2024, so just over 12 months' time. It's now into May, so he's got 13 months left on his contract. This is normally when City try and get new contracts negotiated with players. If not, they may look to sell. If not, they'll just let them go to the end of the contract and leave, which is what we may see with İlkay Gündoğan. And Kyle Walker next year could be going down that same route. He's keen to stay at Manchester City and see out his contract rather than have a move to Milan or to Aston Villa, it seems. One to keep an eye out for. To me, I could see Kyle Walker staying at Manchester City for another 12 months, if I'm honest. Now, moving on, we've got an update on Aymeric Laporte, and L'Equipe over in France have said that PSG, they are interested in signing a left-footed defender this summer, and Aymeric Laporte is one of a few players that they are looking at to fill that position in their squad. Now, the big questions here is, do I see Manchester City selling to Paris Saint-Germain? Man City obviously are owned by ADUG, which is the Abu Dhabi United Group based in the United Arab of the Emirates, whereas PSG, they're owned by businesses over in Qatar. Now, relations haven't been great over the last few years, so the big question would be, would Manchester City be willing to sell one of their assets to PSG? And vice versa, if City were interested in a PSG player, would they be willing to sell one of their assets to Manchester City? And if I'm being truthful, I think the answer to that is no. However, I do think that if PSG are willing to pay a good price, a price that Man City feel is too good to turn down for Laporte, then Manchester City could be willing to sell Laporte this summer to them. However, there is a lot of interest in Aymeric Laporte. We already know there's interest from Spain. Apparently, Laporte's keen on a move to Barcelona. Barcelona haven't got the funds to afford a move for Laporte. I've heard interest from Bilbao. I've heard interest from potentially from Real Madrid as well. Most interestingly, there's a lot of interest coming in from Italy as well, including Juventus. So I think that's something to keep an eye on for. What would Man City be willing to sell Aymeric Laporte for? Obviously, City aren't going to be selling to any Premier League club. I reckon if we were, we'd probably be looking at around £50 million. I don't think with any European team we're going to get any of them paying £50 million. PSG could afford it. I don't see them paying it though, and I can see Manchester City probably at the very maximum here, £35–40 million, which to me doesn't really fairly reflect the value of how good Aymeric Laporte can be. Are we going to get a suitable replacement for the same price for Laporte? No, it's going to cost us a lot more money to bring in someone like Joshua Gvardiol, who's getting linked with Manchester City. So it would take City to sell other players around the squad, either EDS players or players that have been out on loan, to make them funds back to be able to afford a move for Joshua Gvardiol for him to replace Aymeric Laporte, which is what I'm hearing on the grapevine could very well happen. But City do need to find a club that's willing to pay the money to sign Laporte, which at the moment there's interest, but nothing more than interest as of right now. So moving on to the ins, we've got a new name comes in the form of Thorsten Spike Brits. He likes to go by the name Spike, so if you put in Spike Brits, you'll be able to see some highlights and bits and bobs about him. So he's an under-16 goalkeeper, plays for AFC Wimbledon, Brentford and Manchester City. They're keen on signing him, according to Fabrizio Romano, with Manchester City favourites to bring the young goalkeeper in to the City Football Academy, the CFA. Now, it is likely, according to the secret scout, that it's Manchester City that are going to sign Spike Brits. They believe that Manchester City have won the race to sign him. I'm waiting for something more reliable to report on this, but all rumours are suggesting that Spike Brits is going to become a Manchester City player, which is very exciting because Man City, over the last 4 or 5 seasons, have been producing some top quality goalkeepers who not necessarily may make it at Manchester City, but have gone on to bigger and better things. We've seen it when we brought in the young Irish goalkeeper Gavin Bazunu, utilised the loan market, got his move to Southampton, and looking like a good Premier League goalkeeper. We're seeing the same with Trafford as well. James Trafford spent the season out on loan at Bolton. He's had a brilliant season with them, and I'm expecting next season, if he isn't sold permanently with a cheap buyback clause, for him to be loaned out either to a top championship club, maybe even into the Premier League. There's been rumours that if City were to sell a goalkeeper, that he could come in and sit as our number 2. So we've got some top quality goalkeepers here that are being produced by City, and Spike Brits seemingly the next big thing, and definitely a player to keep an eye out for. And who knows, in the next 3-4 years, when I'm doing my loan reports or I'm speaking about EDS players, I could be speaking about Spike Brits becoming the next big thing, the next big goalkeeper at Manchester City. So it excites me. Hopefully City will be able to get that deal over the line. Now moving on, we've got a very quick update on Mason Mount. Now Peter O'Rourke over on Twitter has said that Manchester City, they've ruled themselves out of making a move for Mason Mount this summer. I don't see City making a move for Mason Mount. I don't see Mason Mount leaving Chelsea, if I'm completely honest. I don't see any club signing him. I don't see clubs paying the money for him. To be honest, in my opinion here, I think he's a little bit overrated, and I don't think he's what City are looking for, because Mason Mount would come into City if he did sign for us. He's not an improvement on any players we've got in the starting 11. He isn't better than the likes of Ilkay Gundogan and Bernardo Silva, so to replace one of them players with Mason Mount, to me, would be a downgrade. He'd come in and be a squad player. For a player that's got the homegrown English value on there as well, just not for me, if I'm completely honest. So when I'm hearing that Peter O'Rourke saying City ruled themselves out, to me, I think that's a wise thing for City to do. Now, moving on to the final update, Jude Bellingham. Let's speak about him. So, despite rumours that City closing in on Jude Bellingham, Marca over in Spain have said that Real Madrid are going to send representatives to Germany to start negotiations with Dortmund and with Jude Bellingham's camp to make a transfer happen. Now, AS over in Spain believe that Jude Bellingham has made a decision on his future. He's chosen to leave Borussia Dortmund, and he's chosen Real Madrid as the club that he wants to join in the summer. Now, all rumours before this were pointing towards Jude Bellingham becoming a Manchester City player. We already know Liverpool have ruled themselves out of making a move for Jude Bellingham, and so it's seemingly looking like if Bellingham wanted a move back to England and back to the Premier League, it would be with Manchester City. However, rumours now pointing towards Real Madrid, and I do want to put this on the record for everybody. This is the same source that said Erling Haaland last summer had chosen to join Real Madrid over Manchester City. AS were reporting that last summer, around this stage, around this time last year, they were saying that Haaland, he was going to become a Real Madrid player. They're reporting the same here with Jude Bellingham, another player for Borussia Dortmund. Are we going to get the same result of them joining Manchester City over Real Madrid? We'll have to wait and see. I've not heard any reliability being put onto this story. It is just rumours coming in from Spain, and I've dealt with Spanish sources before, and there are some very reliable sources out there. I would say Marca and AS are probably as far away from reliable as what you can get in Spain. These are journalists, these are newspapers, these are media outlets that work with Real Madrid to report what Real Madrid want them to report. And Real Madrid, when it comes to transfers, they see themselves as the Galacticos that could be very strange. They want players, so they say they're going to join us based on absolutely nothing. And to me, Jude Bellingham, right now, with how packed the midfield is for Real Madrid in quality, has to decide what is best for him. And to me, to join potentially the Premier League champions, to join Pep Guardiola's team, to learn and become better for his overall football game, I think Jude Bellingham, if City are willing to pay the money for him, it'd be a no-brainer for me, if I'm completely honest, if it's based purely on footballing ability, because Jude Bellingham's one of them top players that would come in, and as I was speaking about before, saying Mason Mount doesn't improve the Man City squad, to me, Jude Bellingham, give him a season or two, he's got no end to him. He's, you know, the stars is the limit for him. He's an absolutely brilliant player, and to me, Jude Bellingham, learning under Pep Guardiola, having players like Kevin De Bruyne, like Rodri, and having one of his good friends in Erling Haaland around him as well, I think he can really prosper, and I think he can really push on to become a brilliant player, not just for Manchester City, but I'm sure he'll have eyes on becoming a first-team regular, first name on the team sheet for the England national team as well, and being on offer in England in the Premier League and winning Premier Leagues with Manchester City, and you know, playing under Pep Guardiola helped him to achieve that goal. So, and surely Jude Bellingham's watching just how well Erling Haaland's doing, breaking record after record here in the Premier League, and surely Jude Bellingham's thinking, do you know what, that's my mate, I want to go and join him. I want a bit of that as well. So I'm still confident City signed Jude Bellingham this summer if we are willing to pay that money. Remember, 150 million euros is believed what Dortmund are looking for the fee to make this transfer happen. Real Madrid apparently willing to pay 120 million euros. I've heard City willing to go up to 130 million euros. No club right now meeting at 150 million euros. City have some good working relations with Dortmund. So we'll sit back, relax, wait and see. As I said, rumours I've heard from England and people working on the deal that City's still confident that the transfer is going to happen, that City are going to get their man in Jude Bellingham, but the same's been reported by Madrid, and we saw this with Erling Haaland last year, and we know how that ended, and I think it might just be the same here with Jude Bellingham as well, but we'll wait and see. Any developments that I do get, of course, I will keep you guys up to date first and fast every single day throughout the summer transfer window. So from June, I'm going to be doing daily Manchester City transfer updates. Goes on through June, July and August. It's relentless. It's fun. So make sure you have subscribed if you want to stay up to date with all the latest City news on YouTube every single day throughout the busy summer transfer window coming up next month. Also, don't forget as well to go check out my social media links. They're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Also, don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do leave a thumbs up as well. 300 likes is the aim, and I'll see you all again tomorrow as our relentless schedule continues with Manchester City with a big home game coming up against West Ham. Our game in hand to try and solidify ourselves as being top of the Premier League. Arsenal going tomorrow as well. They've got a big game coming up against Chelsea. So lots more football, lots more City content to look forward to. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well, and I hope everyone has a fantastic bank holiday Monday. Peace. Ciao for now.